Good evening and welcome to Between the Lanes, episode number 125. I'm Ron.
I'm Shane.
Shane's on the phone again tonight, so we'll get things going here. And again, welcome to Between the Lanes, episode number 125. You can find us on YouTube. The channel is Slot Racer. We have 125 episodes up, along with some how-to videos and some special episodes. Find us on Facebook. The page is Between the Lanes. And race results for last weekend, the winning report. So before we start, I don't have pictures for the New England Retro Racing Group, but they raced, I believe, at Bristol 1010 Raceway. And in the stock car class, Keith Libby was the winner, Vinny Cafazzo second, Dom Luongo was third, and in Can-Am, Keith Libby was the winner again. He pulled off the sweep. Gary Clinton Jr. second, and John Russo was third. So Midwest Spec Series was at Route 66 Raceway, Elkhart, Illinois. And in the late model class, Ed Riddle was your winner, Randy Lynn second, Dave Fugate was third. And then in the Legends class, which is Womps, Randy Lynn was the winner, Jason Plummer second, Toby Kindig was third. And in the Phoenix GTP class, Jason Plummer was the winner, Dave Fugate second, Toby Kindig was third. And Bomber class, Jason Plummer was the winner, Ed Riddle was second, Randy Lynn was third. And I believe that was it. So then down at Slot Car Cave, they had a doubleheader weekend. They had AWRA Womps. And in the Sportsman class, Jimmy Johnson in the mask was the winner. Russ Martin was second. Guy Spalding was third. And then Jimmy pulled off the sweep by winning the Legends class with Guy Spalding second. And a very scary-looking Charles, or maybe he's scared, Charles Eldridge was third. And then they also had a endurance race. And the winning team was Guns A-Blazin' with Russ Martin and Don Gunn. Second place was Big Money Motorsports, Walker McNulty and Carl Burrow. And the third place team was J&J Racing, which was Jimmy Johnson and Josh Barbie. And then the BRS was at Fast Tracks in Fremont, Ohio, another doubleheader weekend there. Saturday it was BRS Retro Cars, Can-Am. Ron Hirschman, myself, was the winner. Mark Bocconi was second. And Dave Smirka was third in the A main, but Jeremy Wyatt, I have the wrong picture here. Jeremy Wyatt was third overall from the B main. And then in Formula One, Greg Fox was the winner, Bud Bardo second, Ron Hirschman third. And in Retro Pro Flexi, Jeremy Wyatt was the winner. Dave Smirka was second, and Richard T was third. And then on Sunday at Fast Tracks was the Ohio Oval Series. In the IndyCar class, Elmo was your winner, Kirby was second, and Chris Earnhardt was third. In the stock car class, Ron Hirschman was the winner, Elmo was second, Jeremy Wyatt was third. And then in the dirt late model class, wow, how do we get away from that? Okay, dirt late model class, Ron Hirschman was the winner, Kirby was second, Jeremy Wyatt was third. And at Dallas Slot Cars, they had a special drag race. I don't know if it had a name or not, but anyway, they had 478 cars, took 18 hours to run the program. The winner was Kent. I don't have a last name, and the runner-up was Cameron, and I don't have a last name for either one of them. So congratulations to Kent and Cameron. And there's some of the racers that was there, and Kent, I guess, is the guy there in the red shirt with the trophy in front of him with the finger being held up for number one. So, and then I see Cameron. He's like behind holding up. There's a couple of guys holding up two fingers, so I don't know who's second. So anyway.
They're confusing you.
Yeah, they are confusing me. And there was no picture of the winner and runner-up to have up. So, also big news in the drag racing slot car world. The first ever in the threes AA funny car pass was made down at Big Charlie's garage. Mike Coop went .3963 seconds, a third of a second. ET, quarter mile, 135 mile per hour. That's a barrier that many drag racers have tried to eclipse for many years. And it was eclipsed last weekend down at Big Charlie's Garage, which is owned by Joe Bohannon. And congrats to Mike Coop for breaking that barrier, that .400 barrier. So
world record, or is that just a record?
that would be a world record. And
Nice.
and they there was pictures on Facebook of the voltmeter and stuff, so they verified the voltage. And I don't.
Yeah, make sure I know.
Yeah, because everybody's always worried about the voltage. So
Yeah, what's the volt? Yeah, I've seen that.
yeah, and I think the limit's 16.5, but I'm not 100% sure on that because it's 16 something, and they were legal. So there you have it.
Very nice.
That's blistering.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And winner chicken dinner.
Sunday.
Okay, so this Sunday, Retro East is at Race Place in New Jersey. Mid-America Hard Body Series is at Thaser. Central Illinois Slot Series is at Logan Avenue Raceway in Belvedere, Illinois. Penn Jersey is at Dom's. And then next weekend, we've got Mid-South at American Adrenaline. Hard Bodies at Pro Slot. Midwest Spec. Penn, Ohio is at HMS. That is the McMaster's Family Benefit Race. 2-day show. Stock cars and coupes on Saturday. Can-Am F1 on Sunday. We also have kids race at Naperville, Mid-America Naperville. So the kids will be back in action there. And that's put on by B&E Slot Sport. Brian Meharry does a great job with that. And I think that's their third race. The weekend of the 25th, East Coast Flexi Series is at Speed Zone. And the ORS is at Mark's Model World. And that's all I got on my calendar. I think I'm missing a couple other races because I'm pretty sure there's a Florida Slot Car Series. I think Florida Slot Car Series races this weekend, the 11th. And I don't have the Gator Retro Racing Region race on the calendar, so maybe that's the following weekend. Maybe it's the 18th or 25th, but we'll try and have that updated for next weekend. So, okay, so in the mail yesterday, I got some samples of some of the metric lead wire. And Les Wright, Right Way Products, sent me the samples, and he is selling the metric lead wire, which is all the rage in wing car racing right now. And there's red and there's black. It comes in 8-foot lengths for $6.75. The jacket on the black lead wire is a little thicker than the red lead wire, which is a little thinner, a little lighter. So just for craps and giggles earlier, I weighed both of them. The red lead wire, I didn't measure it, make sure both were 8 foot long, but I'm assuming they were because that's how he's selling it. So the red lead wire, 8 foot length, was 17 grams, and the black was 24.4 grams. So the black is a little heavier, but again, it has a little bit thicker jacket. It's less than it's probably 19 gauge. It's not 20 and it's not 18. So, but the red lead wire isn't. I mean, it's a little bigger than 20 gauge too, and I can see where the guys are running that over, like say the Slick 7 and the TQ and some of that other 20 gauge stuff out there because it is a little thicker jacket. So it shouldn't. It should be less prone to breaking. I'll put it that way.
Gotcha.
So let's sit here, try it, and see what you think. So I haven't put on any cars yet.
Testing this weekend?
No, I'm not going to test it this weekend. I got everything set and ready to go. So
In the box?
I'm in the box except mounting a few bodies, but I mean, that's okay. It's just typical. That's the last thing that gets done before I leave is mount bodies. So I don't hate mounting bodies, but I don't love it, so I kind of put it off to do it last.
Right.
So, I mean, I spent the better part of a day converting the cars over from last weekend. The 4.5-inch cars from dirt late model specs with smaller fronts and different pans. So, I took the cars apart and cleaned them and changed, went from aluminum to steel pans because where we're going this weekend, we got to weigh 100 grams minimum weight. And we got to run 750 or 740 diameter fronts. And they got to put guide spacing back in them for the bigger fronts versus no guide spacing with the little fronts. And I need to mount bodies. So
what I'm doing now is new chassis for 2020.
New chassis for 2020. Yeah, that's what I did last week before this race. I think I built 4 new cars, and I don't think I did use one of the new cars, but the other 3, they got some laps in practice, and they were all good. There was no problems. I built 2 Defenders and I built 2 Strikers, and one Defender had an aluminum pan and one had the lightweight, I call it the Skeletor pan because it's the real super lightweight metal pan.
Right.
And then the 2 Strikers, I built one with aluminum pan and one with a Skeletor steel pan.
That's funny.
Because we were running on the 95-foot American Black, and I'd run there before with a Striker and a aluminum pan with a GTP body, and it was really good. But we were running the Retro Pro bodies, which have a little less downforce, and I ran out of the cars, but I wound up running the Avenger with the lightweight aluminum pan, and it was good. I just it was a weird race. Like, I thought my motor was burning up or something because the car was acting weird.
Or laying down on you.
Yeah, it felt like it was. So I went over and I changed the motor and put the car on the track, and like the chassis was all bent up. And it's like, how'd this chassis get bent? Because I didn't hit anything.
Right.
So I went back over and was tweaking on the chassis and got it going. And by then I'd went from second to last and wound up finishing 5th. And it was just a weird deal. And then earlier today I was like, where's that motor at? And I put it on. It sounds fine on a power supply. So I guess the chassis got torqued somehow, and I thought the motor was going away, but I don't remember hitting anything. It's like, where did the chassis get bent? It's just a weird deal. But so, yeah, I didn't know if I'd want to run like a Patriot with a metal pan with those bodies, or a Patriot aluminum pan, or anyway, the
choices and choices and choices.
Yeah, so then I had another Avenger with lightweight aluminum pan, which is what I ran in the 4-inch race on the oval. And I ran all the other cars on the oval, but and then my second best car was a Defender with aluminum pan. There wasn't much difference between that and the Avenger on the oval. I could have run either car and probably did as equally well because both cars ran the same time. And I kind of gave up on the other cars because I'm thinking, well, these are heavier anyway, and so just kind of gave up on them.
Gotcha.
But they probably would have been competitive. I mean, and I weighed them all, and they all weighed different, of course, and I don't remember the numbers now. I think there was about a 10-gram difference between the lightest to the heaviest, and there was a couple in between, so I had a variety of things to try.
Got
So
get all the bases covered.
All the bases covered. Yep. And the dirt late model cars were good. They all had aluminum pans, which, if you want to be fast, that's what you got to do. And didn't really bend anything up in the oval race, which sometimes you do. I mean, that's the first dirt late model race in that series I think I finished, because usually I get destroyed somehow or another. And,
Gotcha.
I did actually, so with 3 heats to go, I did hit somebody, and it kind of split the top on the guide and peeled the guide clip back. And I was like, maybe I should dump some super glue in here. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to be careful not hit nobody. And luckily, the last 3 heats I finished purple, black, yellow. So
You're kind of in the safe zone.
It's kind of in this, kind of in the safe zone. I wasn't out there in the red zone, so I finished the race that way. Luckily, I didn't hit anything else because one good whack probably would have finished the guide off. But
I think that's how I was at the Enduro race at Archdale. I looked at my guide and I was like, "Yeah, that's not good."
So I just like I'm gonna go for it, and I went for it and got lucky and didn't have any more problems with it. But
right.
So yeah, so that was kind of my weekend, and of course lots of tire testing as usual. That was. So we got there Friday night. Like the track was super stuck. It's probably the most stuck I'd ever seen the track, and usually I run soft tires there and on the black, and it was like you could not even make a lap with those tires. So
bogging her out.
Yeah, the car would just stop. So I was out there running my F1 car on Wonder Rubber, and that was a first, and on that track anyway, and got the lane freed up and was working, tuning the car, changing guide spacing, stuff like that, and kept making the car faster. And then they had a weekly JK IndyCar race, so they freed the track up for us and
kind of ran it in.
Yeah, so then after that was over, it was kind of like, soft tires are working now on a big hub, and because normally it's soft tires on a small hub there, and had that ready. And when that wasn't, small hub soft wasn't working Friday night, and Saturday morning they weren't working then either. So, but by God, come race time, I wish I'd had them on the car because the big hub soft was not the ticket for me. It was lacking that good old forward bite, and but that's the way it is. And I didn't expect the track to free up as much as, I mean, it wasn't slick. It just got a little freer as the day went on. So,
right.
So yeah, it was didn't go with my gut on that one, but oh well. Still was a good race and got a good third out of it. So. And it was good because Greg won. Greg kind of dominated the race, Greg Fox, and he had horrible luck in the Can-Am main. I mean, he pulled out early, and I don't know if he broke his car or not, but he just got to a point where it's like, yep, I'm done. Fun meter was
pegged.
Fun meter was pegged, and then he just had like the perfect race in F1, and I think that all made up for his bad Can-Am run. So.
There you go.
It was good to see that, and Bud's hand cramped up. I can't remember if that was after the F1 race or the Can-Am. I mean, it was like locked. So
gotta eat pickles.
He normally has to race with his thumb, but fast tracks and some of the faster tracks he has to drive with his finger. So,
right.
But yeah, his first time.
Who was it? We were somewhere. I want to say it was Nick Brantley. I think he started cramping up, and he keeps mustard packs in his box.
Okay.
And would just squirt mustard in his mouth. So that I guess listeners Google it and see if that's any. I've always heard drinking pickle juice or eating pickles, for hydration, and if you worked out to kind of,
usually that happens because you have a lack of potassium. So you can eat bananas, but
yeah.
I remember Jake Hisling. Jake Hisling was the first guy I knew that had a cramping problem, and he had these pills, and I forget what they were, but I never really had. I never really had that.
Pill or something.
Yeah, I never really ever had that problem. First time I ever had that problem was down in Orlando in 1991. We were on a box stock race at American Hobbies on the King. It was like a warm-up race for the Nats. I was racing box stock car, and I was on an orange or blue, and you're just bang, 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 and
locked up.
Well, then when I locked up, I'm thinking, well, okay, the car's coming out. Well, I was running out. It was like, wow, you can run this track full punched on orange lane if it's glued right, And then I think I finished on orange, and the race is over, and like I cannot get my hand to release from the controller. Like it will not. And I had to like kind of bang it up against the wall,
Right.
you know, to get it to open up where you get the controller out of my hand. And then there's been I haven't had that problem. That's the only time I ever really locked up. But I've had times where I've cramped up and it hurts to squeeze the trigger.
Yeah.
And like
I've never locked up at the panel.
Right.
But I have been like working on something.
And locked up?
And my fingers like went crazy, and I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of, and I had to grab my fingers and like straighten them out. But as far as like at the panel racing, there's been a couple of times where you kind of get that twitch or twinge, and it kind of feels like it's going to.
Okay, so there, I do have a thing, and it's weird. Like I don't know how to explain it, but if I get to the track, when I get to the track and I make my first few laps, sometimes when I squeeze the controller in my wrist or on the top of my wrist, it feels like I'm getting shocked. Like it snaps and it feels like I'm getting shocked.
Right.
And I don't know what that is, but usually after it, when it does it, it doesn't do it anymore. It's like
kind of knocked it.
It's almost like a rusty hinge. It's locked.
Yeah,
solid, and you open it, and then it's okay. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The only thing that really gets me, like after the oval races this weekend, especially after the first race, my forearm really hurts, like the muscle in my forearm.
I think when I first met you in Atlanta, I think you were like, I don't know if I'm going to do this next one because you said your forearm was kind of hurting.
Yeah, my forearm was killing me. I mean, and you try and let it rest, but move your finger and it just aggravates it. So, yeah, this weekend after the 4-inch race, it's like, yeah, my forearm is sore, and then it was because I ran the second 4-inch race and then the first 4-inch dirt late model race. So it's like I never got any time to. So it was really hurting after the dirt late model race. And then
the problem I have is like my calf sometimes.
Yeah.
If I do a lot of walking and standing,
yep.
By the end of the night, I'm ready to just take my shoes off and walk barefooted because my calves hurt so bad.
Yep. Potassium.
And then, I'll go back to the room, kick my shoes off, and sometimes I wear them compression socks because those help.
Right.
And I just lay in bed and just massage my calves because it's just like, God, these things,
Right.
I'm not used to walking because I drive a truck all day. And I'll walk around a truck, but someone like, Bobby, his legs never hurt because he does a lot of walking for his job. As
sure.
far as, walking from car to car to car. Me, he says he averages 15 to 20,000 footsteps a day. I probably do good if I get 10,000.
Right.
Yeah,
I felt like. Go ahead.
You try to prep, thinking, okay, I got a race coming up. I need to hydrate, eat bananas, and do all that kind of stuff. And then there's certain times I did that. It's like, wow, I feel good. And then there's been other times I did all that. It's like, God, my legs are killing me.
It makes no difference. Yeah, and it depends on the type of floor you're standing on, and
I'll wear the socks, and it's like, all right, these help. And then sometimes I don't wear the socks, and it's like, you know what I mean? Sometimes I wear the socks, and my legs even hurt.
Right.
So it's just like.
But yeah, I'm driving home Sunday night, and I feel like I've been beat up. I mean, like my shoulders are hurting, my neck is stiff and sore, and I don't know if it was the fact. Yeah, I don't know if it was the fact that I'd raced 2 days in a row, or maybe I didn't rest good Saturday night. I slept, but maybe I didn't rest good, or maybe I slept funny. Anyway, I felt fine when I woke up Sunday morning, but I raced, and then coming home, I just and the wind was crazy, blowing the truck.
Yeah, I remember the wind was blowing. I remember me and you talked briefly on the phone. You were like, "You hear that?"
It was crazy, and I just came home, unloaded, went to bed, and I woke up, and I felt like crap all day Monday. I was like, am I coming down with something, or am I just wore out?
I don't know about up there or around, but there's been some junkitis going on around here.
Yeah, there's been junk going around here too. But anyway, so Anyway, I got a good night's sleep on Monday night, and I felt great ever since. So
There you go.
Yep.
Like Paul said at the Nats, sleep and rest is key.
Yep. Yeah, well, when you're younger, it's easier, but as you get older, I mean, most times it doesn't bother me, but sometimes when it gets me, it gets me. I mean, it's just there's no
on
real
the race and how extreme the race gets. You know what I mean? If it's just kind of a fun race, then pulling all nighter ain't really nothing. But if it's intense, heavy competition, then it's like, yeah, I might need to cut this early.
Right. So I remember the first. Well, I guess it was the second Nats I went to. I mean, I was up for a stretch of like 42 hours, no sleep.
Yeah,
because we raced around the clock. Then you started the next class and
right
meetings to go to and other stuff and yeah.
So New Jersey Nats, and what year was that? I got the plaque somewhere.
Well,
and 2015 was like that. Like the first 3 days I was there, I didn't sleep.
Well, it was like 24-hour race we had this last February. I stayed up the whole time, and I mean, I didn't feel bad when it was over.
Right.
I'm just glad the sun wasn't out when I had to drive home because, like,
that would have hurt.
My eyes were cooked. I mean, yeah. So,
yeah.
Good thing it was nice and cloudy because I don't know if I could have drove the 4 hours back.
Gotcha.
If the sun would have been out. So, my eyes were done. But other than that, that's all I got to report on.
Yeah, no reports for me. I am still in off-season mode.
Yep. Your next race is the Mid-South race or no?
No, my next race that is on schedule and in the books is the Marks Model World OCC in February.
All right, so you're off for another 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, taking it easy, enjoying life.
Okay.
If it was nicer, I'd say I'm going fishing, but nah.
Gotcha.
I've been going to some nice restaurants, though, so I've been eating and spending time with friends and family, so.
Well, there you go. Get your potassium.
Yeah. Come back race and gain another 20 pounds.
Yep. All right. Well, that's all I got, so.
All righty.
We didn't do this last week, I guess, because we just forgot, but secret word of the show?
Potassium.
Potassium. Yeah, no one will know how to spell that. POTASSIUM, I think.
Bananas. I don't know. Potassium bananas.
There you go.
Cramps.
Bananas. PANANAS.
Yeah.
Bananas. Okay.
Funny. Let's pick one. We're fun.
Yeah. All right. So until next week, and we should have more on next week's show because I won't be turning and burning and
y'all will eventually get to see me again.
Yep.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that sorted out too, and that's not been easy. So Until next week, I gotta do this. All right. So until next week, if you're going racing, good luck. Be safe. Have fun. And we'll be back next week with episode number 126. Until then, adios.
See you later.